Yeah, I have to say, is anyone else just exhausted?
Wow, it really is. It's really getting.
Do you think he was trying to like apologize there?
Well, I will say, he felt bad
He
about
would
it.
have
That might be the
apologized.
first time I heard that
Right,
statement.
he said it a couple times.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, when President Trump wants to say something, he'll say something. So if he wants to apologize, he will apologize.
Yes.
I think that as someone who is now raising a baby, you know, into an adult, eventually, right? Like, I want to teach a better lesson. If you see something wrong, you say, let's stop this, right? So as the President of the United States, we should expect more, that he would be a president for all people and say, hey, you know what, this isn't right. We've seen other politicians do that.
Yeah.
John McCain.
John McCain.
It was
nothing new in all of this.
If you never saw that clip, he was at a campaign event. This was John McCain, and someone started talking about a certain ethnic group. I can't forget which one it was, and he stopped him and said, "Hey, we're not gonna do that."
It was Barack Obama.
It was Barack Obama, and he said, "Thank you," and he said,
Called him a Muslim.
Yeah, and he said, "You know what? He's a good." Some people took issue with that, but he was defending him, saying, "Look, he's a good man, and let's debate the issues, not the people."
Yeah.
And I think on the whole issue of telling someone to go back home, do you feel like people are clear on why that's offensive? I'm not sure, based on social media, that people are clear on why it's offensive.
No, I think there's a lot of people that have no idea why it's offensive.
Well, people are
I think that's why
reactionary.
people
They hear what they want to hear. Get them out. I mean, it's sad but true.
Well, when she arrived at the airport in Minnesota, people said, welcome home. Because that is her home. She's a naturalized citizen, which means she is an American, which means she deserves to be called an American, and that this is her home. And I find it offensive because I had that a lot as a kid. Like, go back to where you came from. And it's so offensive when you belong here and people don't see you belonging as here. You know, because I was always like, but I belong here. I don't. It's a hard argument to make in the moment, you know, and people don't understand that. So it's highly offensive to say that.
I was even listening to it on the radio. People were saying, I don't understand why it's so offensive. I would say it with my friends growing up, like, hey, if you don't like the country, go back to where you came from. Like, as just like a, hey, go back to where you came from kind of thing. And they're like, oh, well, we used to say that all the time. It wasn't a big deal.
But did you ever say it to someone who looked like you? That's the whole point. If it was someone who presented as white, it's like you wouldn't, and they were critical, no one would say, go back home.
Right.
And I think that's the whole piece of it. And then the second thing I would argue is, when do we get to a point in our country when you can't criticize without wanting to be here? It's like, I can still find what I would like to fix.
That's why most people are here, because we're allowed to.
Right.
We're allowed to criticize, we're allowed to speak up, we're allowed to protest, we're allowed to do all those things.
Well, criticizing, I think, makes the place a better place to be. Whatever place that is, it could be the workplace. You criticize work, not because you hate work, but because you want to make it better. Just like you can criticize the country or some of its leaders. You're not going to agree with everyone. And you can say, okay, I think this would make a better country. That doesn't mean you don't want to be here.
Right.
You know? I mean, some people might not want to be here, but I'm just saying, in general, criticism makes the whatever place a better place.
Can you unite us with the Five Hive? Because I feel like that's the safe space.
Okay.
This is getting too icky. The soft velvet wall.
I am
the Five
fatigued
Hive.
of all of this, though. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I do want to show you a couple of things that I think will unite us. Okay, so this is from Phyllis, and she says, one of those days, but at least the sun is shining. And look at this message. To protect your energy, it's okay to cancel a commitment. It's okay to not answer a call. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to want to be alone. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to let go.
Oh,
that's a lot of, you know, but
good.
I'm just telling you, I like that. It was very nice. And then I thought I would show you this one because this is from the 50s, supposedly. I didn't do a fact check, I'm just going to say. But this Superman poster from the 1950s is pretty awesome. And remember, boys and girls, your school, like our country, is made up of Americans of many different races, religions, and national origins. If you hear anybody talk against a schoolmate or anyone else because of his religion, race, or national origin, don't wait. Tell him that kind of talk is un-American.
I'm so glad I'm related to the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
Okay, wait, I gotta show you one more. I'm out of time, but I gotta show you one more because John says, you guys over at the station have my wife all bent out of sorts with how you are saying the city name Tukwila. She claims it should be said Tukwila.
Yeah.
And not Tukwila.
Oh, just where you put the K?
Tukwila. It's like tuck somebody in the bed.
That's what I say, Tukwila.
Yeah, Tukwila.
I don't know what I say.
People say Tukwila. Like it's like the number 2 Quilla.
Anyway, you all are on there telling us what we don't say right. So I'd love to hear more. Yeah, it's cool.